one of my favorite guests on this show, Jon Taffer, joins us. Of course, you know his face, and you know the show. You know the fact that bar rescue has made him a bit of a cottage industry around this country and world. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to be here, Neil.
What do you make of everyone fussing over this remark, first of all? Then I'll get into the Republican divisiveness. But what do you think?
You know, I thought last night was a debate of substance. And it's like a steak dinner. It's a great steak, but one bite had some grizzle in it. So everybody focuses on that one bad bite and ignores the rest of the steak. What about the tax issues that were raised? What about the immigration issues that were raised? What about the international policy issues that were raised? That should be in the public consciousness. And whether he concedes or not is not a legal thing. It's a courtesy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter anyway.
It isn't going to make a difference about a peaceful transfer of power. But that's what people are focusing on and remembering and ignoring all the stuff before. And you and I were joking that I'm not sure people at home do the same as we in the media and obsess about stuff like this. But the perception is, oh, boy, Donald Trump might be a sore loser if he loses. No one asked Hillary Clinton the same question. If she loses, how she would be. Leaving that aside, you liked what you heard out of Donald Trump. Do you think it moved the needle in terms of better poll numbers to come, turning a lot of independents around? He's got them back in his corner, signs that he could grow that base. What do you think?
I think it's a public consciousness issue. If people relate to Donald Trump as an individual, look at his womanizing, the things that he said, they have a lot of reasons not to vote for him. But if they look at the policy matters and do what I did the other night, write a list for yourself. What are the negative consequences if one of the two wins? What is bad for me if Trump wins? What is bad for me if Hillary wins? For me, the Hillary list was twice as long.
What made her list longer?
Well, small business taxes is a very important thing to me, Neil. You know that.
Right.
I believe we have to rebuild America from the inside out, not the outside in. And I believe that we have to have private, state, and federal partnerships, almost in the old enterprise zone philosophy, and really fuel it from the inside out, starting with key communities in America and growing that. I don't see that happening with her. I'm concerned that, all personal issues aside, that when this person takes office, the scandals, the investigations, the special prosecutors, the amount of time dealing with these issues is time that should have been spent on public policy matters. That concerns me. I wish we were starting with a clean template.
Yeah, well, we're not. And there's this, you and I were chatting during the break about it, as I have with other guests, that maybe the polls are underrepresenting his support. They point to Brexit. They point to surprises and polling methods that don't really catch these populist waves. Do you buy that?
I do to some degree. You know, being out like I am, and I travel 40 weeks a year.
Do you really?
Shooting bar rescue, and I'm in markets and meeting people constantly.
Do you get to pick those markets?
We do. We do. And, you know, we tend to pick, you know, compelling stories.
Yeah.
You know, people that are really in bad situations. Right. But I believe that there is a mentality to this. We used to use the term the silent majority. I think there's the unpolled majority. And I think there's a group of people that are going to vote that are not being considered right now. And I think it is.
But are there enough of them, John, to make up at least the established difference in the established polls, flawed though they may be?
No, and I'll tell you why. And I think this is a really brief and key point. Any candidate who runs against the first female candidate is disadvantaged with women, correct? No matter who you are.
Good point.
So when you start a campaign knowing that you're disadvantaged with females because your competitor is a female, then you have to pull that community in. You have to recognize...
Well, then these allegations come out and they don't exactly help.
And every phrase that he uses. What about the line, "I'm not going to apologize to my wife"? So, I mean, he's not pulling them in. He's taking a segment that he's disadvantaged with and treating them as if he's advantaged with them.
Yeah. And
that strategy has hampered his ability from the beginning. It's foolish.
You think he could surprise people in the end and still win this?
If the unpoll, if there's this group of supporters, a groundswell, possibly, but he's going to have to do it.
So you could do a rescue moment with him, 19 days to go before the store opening.
I think he has to communicate what are the differences in your life if I win versus her. He has to stay focused. People have to be able to close their eyes and picture the world with either of them and land where it's best for them. And what he says to women,
very well put,
and what she's doing with emails at the end of the day might not be as relevant to our future as it is to their past.
You should take a pay cut and run for office yourself.
We've talked about that before. If you go, I'm with you.
Oh, look, there we go. That's a nice deflection there. He's good at this. Jon Taffer, thank you very much.